What is a complex sentence? In this video, I will teach you.
Robert teaches English.
In the first 2 videos of this series, I taught you about the simple sentence and compound sentence. Make sure to watch those videos first if you haven't seen them. I will leave a link for you in the description. Just to review, a simple sentence contains one independent clause. A compound sentence contains 2 or more independent clauses joined together by a coordinating conjunction. A complex sentence contains at least one independent clause as well as a dependent clause, also known as a subordinate clause for all my fancy pants students out there.
You know who you are.
In the first video, you learned that an independent clause can be on its own. It is independent. It takes care of itself. It does not need help. A dependent clause does need help. It depends on an independent clause to make it complete. In the United States, we refer to children and other people that someone takes care of as dependents because they depend on that person for survival. Take a look at this clause. After I ate the pizza. After I ate the pizza. Does that make sense to you? Or does it feel like something is missing? It does. It feels like something is missing because the subordinating conjunction after implies that there's some sort of connection, and it makes us ask the question, after what? After what? So we need something to connect to that after. This is, of course, a dependent clause. We can complete this sentence by adding an independent clause. Let's go with, I cried in the kitchen. We can say, I cried in the kitchen after I ate the pizza. Or we could switch it around. After I ate the pizza, I cried in the kitchen. Here is another example. Because my dad doesn't like you. Does that seem independent? Or is something missing? Yes, something is missing. The subordinating conjunction because implies some sort of connection to an independent clause. What is happening because your dad doesn't like me? I don't understand. So we can fix it by adding in an independent clause. Let's go with, you can't come over to my house. You can't come over to my house because my dad doesn't like you. Again, we could switch it. Because my dad doesn't like you, you can't come over to my house. In both of these examples, I had to use a subordinating conjunction to bring together an independent clause and a dependent clause. This is the key to identifying complex sentences if you are ever asked to find complex sentences in an exam or whatnot. It's easy to memorize coordinating conjunctions for compound sentences by memorizing the acronym FANBOYS. For, and, nor, but, or, yet, and so. These are the only coordinating conjunctions. However, there are many, many, many subordinating conjunctions. So, do you need to memorize those? No. Just memorize the coordinating conjunctions.
That CC, that coordinating conjunction.
And if you see two clauses brought together by a conjunction that is not one of the fanboys, then you know it's a subordinating conjunction, and you know that it is a complex sentence. Let's do a quick quiz. Take a look at these 3 sentences. We have, your mom is beautiful. We have, you are beautiful because your mom is beautiful. And we have, you are beautiful and your mom is beautiful. Which of those is a simple sentence, which is a compound sentence, and which is a complex sentence? I'll give you a second to figure it out. All right, so the simple sentence is, your mom is beautiful. Yep. And then the compound sentence, you are beautiful and your mom is beautiful. And is a fanboy or coordinating conjunction. And then, of course, the complex sentence is, you are beautiful because your mom is beautiful. Nice work. You'll also notice that there's no comma before because, although there is a comma before and. That's because we don't use commas when we're separating an independent clause from a dependent clause if the dependent clause comes second or comes after the independent clause. When we do a compound sentence, however, since the two halves are both equal in power, they both have independence, we use a comma to separate them. The only time that you would use a comma with a complex sentence is if you started with the dependent clause, which you always have the option to do. We could say, because your mom is beautiful, comma, you are beautiful. So remember this little trick, and looking for those commas will also be a way to help you identify whether a sentence is compound or complex. Now for practice, I want you to use a complex sentence to answer this question. Why are you learning English? Answer in the comments, along with any other questions you have for me. As always, thank you for learning with me. You're doing a great job, and I believe in you. I'll see you soon.